Hi, I'm Kathy Langell, and I am your instructor for Community Wellness Nursing 342, Spring 2015. And this is an introductory YouTube video for the course. And what I want to talk about today is the listing of assignments that are due, because that's what people typically have questions about when we start this course. And I will try to put a YouTube video out each week by Monday, covering the important concepts that I want you to focus on, whatever the content is for the week, because you'll not only be using it for your assignments, but you'll also be applying it in your practicum um, with the different mentors that you're working with. So let's start out. The first assignment that is due each week are your postings in the discussion forum. And again, I will go specifically over content each week as we start um, the lesson on Monday. Your discussion posts are due on Saturday by midnight, and so that will be something that you have to um, upload into the Angel site every week. And a couple of um, requirements for the posts. Um, They should be scholarly. You should be providing answers to the questions that come from our textbook. And again, I really want to encourage you to use Foundations of Nursing in the Community. This is by Stanhope and Lancaster. It's a great textbook, and I certainly am fine with you referencing it as one of your sources as you comment on the discussion questions. Um, you'll also be looking into other sources of information to make your statements, and they should be cited using APA format. So please pay attention to that. If you have questions about APA, there is a section when you enter our course in Angel and you open up the Lessons tab that actually has some information about APA. So if you need a review, that's a place to look. Another person that I want to just emphasize with you that has embedded herself into our course is Karen Nowak, and she's our head librarian at Concordia, and she is there to assist you with any questions that you have. If you're having problems getting a link to an article or something else that is causing difficulty as to the library and technology, please contact her. She will do everything she can to assist you, and also maybe sending out emails as we go along, because she is paying attention to the content that we're covering. So that's just some things about the discussion posts. And then your other responsibility each week with those is to go in and comment on two of your fellow students' posts and offer um, your view. Please make it objective, make it scholarly. Um, Maybe there's something else that you've read that could provide additional information, um, or something that you have a different opinion about that is, again, substantiated in the literature. So think about how you can make these entries sound, and again, scholarly. I don't expect you to write a book if you can be succinct and get your point across. That's really the goal of this exercise. And I will be reviewing them each week. Like I said, they're due on Saturday by midnight, and I will certainly start to look at those posts usually by Friday and start making comments and then also grading you. The one big assignment that you have in this course is the Windshield Survey Community Assessment. And I would encourage you, as I did in that introductory email, to really get started looking at this. There is an example of one in lesson or week 2 when we look at community assessment that can give you a good idea of how you should put this presentation together. There are basically different elements that you want to observe in the community. And again, your geographic area that you're going to be assessing is the zip code that your practicum site is in. So if you look again, if we go back and look at those um, sections that are divided into the lessons for each week. There is also a section on that page on all assignments with very specific instructions and the rubrics that I will be using to grade your assignments. So pay attention to those. But the windshield survey um, asks you to look at different elements, as I said, in the community. Just off the top of my head, some things I can think about are maybe what are the churches, what do they look like, what are the service areas for the residents of the community, what kind of schools are we observing. And so you're taking photos, and you really don't need to put more than 2 photos on a PowerPoint for each element. Then your next slide right after is your objective statement about what you see. And then the third one are statistics that back up what your findings are. And again, you're going in and looking at different databases about the community that you're assessing, and you are substantiating what you're commenting on by using those databases. Another thing I want you to think about it, and let me just add on, there are a number of databases listed in the assignments in that section on your assignments with the instructions and rubrics. So please view those, and it'll give you some idea about what to use to gather that information. The next thing, other thing that I want to point you to is whatever county you're in, um, whether it's Milwaukee County or Ozaukee County or Waushara County or wherever, the public health department for that area, geographic area, will have community assessment databases on their website, and they are open to the public. That is certainly another excellent source of information. Um, census data, vital statistics for the area or the state. Those are all things that you can get your hands on and use to substantiate what you're seeing in your community. The You're putting all this information together, and by the end, you're not only pointing out positive aspects of the community, but you're also then going to identify some deficit areas where you, as a program planner in community health, could make a difference. And that is the next piece of this assignment, which is to formulate a community nursing diagnosis care plan. It is the same concept that you used or use in your practice to develop a nursing care plan, except now we're using the community as a group, and we're going to address the issues and then think about how we can plan programming to um, meet the needs of, let's say, a vulnerable population or a group that, again, are struggling with often some kind of healthcare issue. So that is not an assignment that you actually have to turn into me separately. That will be one of the posts in the discussion board for one of the weeks, and I will call your attention to that as we get closer to it. And they're really, like I said, there's a nice connection between this windshield survey community assessment and then the development of this care plan. So that is hopefully going to really have a nice flow to it so that you can see really how nicely it works. And this is the work that community health nurses, public health nurses are doing out in the community at the agencies that you are interacting with. An earlier assignment that is due fairly quickly is no more than a 3-page paper on an environmental health issue. So please pick something that you're interested in. This is something that you want to put your comments out about and explain what's happening and how this impacts health. Again, please look at the instructions. It will tell you exactly how to address this issue. But I really encourage you to pick something that you're interested in. Make this a fun project so that you really learn something and maybe even can take it and use it back in your practice. You should use a research article as your base to formulate your opinion, and then you also want to add other articles to substantiate what your view is. Then just 2 more assignments, and these flow nicely at the end, and they're going to have to do with your practicum site. You are responsible for putting together a teaching PowerPoint that your community site can utilize. So they can either use it to train staff on a healthcare issue, or they can use it to train the patients, clients they work with. Ask them. They will be more than happy to tell you what's important and what needs work. And again, this is something that you will put together. You give me a copy for grading, and you then give your agency a copy to utilize. You don't have to present this yourself. And then the final one is just an assessment of the agency. So you're going to write about your experience and identify positive and maybe potential areas of improvement that you have discovered during your 21 hours of observation. So that's a good listing of the assignments that are due and that I will be grading you on. I just want to encourage you to please enjoy this course. It is such a different area of nursing, and it's really going to get you out there and think about what all these people working out in the community are doing. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you have questions, please call me at home or email me. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And as I said, I will be putting or posting the link to a YouTube offering each week so that we can stay on task. It's a good way for me to address problems or questions that many of you are having, and also to kind of guide you to really look at the important information each week so that you're understanding the concept. So I will be in touch soon.